Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at the top stories from the world of Formula One for this week. This is the Las Vegas Grand Prix weekend, and our first story is the fourth and final Formula One Commission meeting for this year has ended, and nothing came out of it. It was a waste of everybody's time. Basically, they decided what they will discuss in the 2026 season. And what will be discussed in the 2026 season are whether they should have a mandatory pit stop, whether they should force the drivers to use like all of the three compounds during the race, like the dry race, and more chatter about the aerodynamic testing restrictions. And then this was the only thing which was decisive. The car's 55% of surface area should be covered by livery. Like, that's the only decisive thing that has happened. And furthermore, more discussions will happen in 2026 about the driving cooling system. They will probably change the weight limit and all those things around it. So these are the topics that will be discussed in the 2026 Formula One season. That was discussed in the Formula One Commission meeting, November 4th and final one. We move on. FIA discovers an illegal trick being used by multiple Formula One teams. So basically, skid block and skid plank situation, right? So the skid block holds the skid plank, and what Formula One teams are doing is that they are designing the skid block with material that expands when it heats. So when it expands when it heats, it protects the skid plank from wearing out, and as a result of that, they can run the car much more lower to the ground. The skid block takes a beating, but fortunately it's not the width of the skid block that is used to determine whether a car is legal or illegal. It is the width of the skid plank. So the skid plank is protected by the skid block when the teams use the material which expands during heat. That's a clever trick. I don't think all of the teams use it, not especially Ferrari, because they are having some problems. But it's very interesting that these kind of tricks are now uncovered by the FIA. We will see if they make some changes and give some guidelines that these are the materials that you can and cannot use to design the skid block. But I guess we will see in the remaining 3 Grand Prix. Again, there are 3 Grand Prix remaining for the 2025 season, so I doubt they're going to go ahead and make some changes about it. Anyway, we move on. In the 2025 Qatar Grand Prix, each driver cannot run the tires for more than 25 laps per set of tires. And it's because of the nature of the circuit, which demands too much from the front left. Last year, we had, like in Qatar, there was some debris and then there were some tire failures. But before that, in 2023, there were some issues and, the tires lost their mechanical construct. There was so much lateral forces. So in order to fix that, Pirelli has said that no more than 25 laps. I hope that they fix this issue, because what it does is it adds predictability to the strategy. Now, so this is not really good for the sport. This is not good for the entertainment. Pirelli needs to fix this shit, and they should make the tires strong so that the teams can run it for as long as they want, which will add the unpredictability to the strategy situation. But when you limit the 25 laps, and this goes to the initial thing that these motherfuckers were discussing in the final F1 Commission meeting about the mandatory 2 stops and the using 3 compounds. When you do this, it adds predictability to the strategy, and the reason why we watch Formula One, is just not good. We move on. Formula One and Fortnite have recently collaborated, and it's just not big of a collaboration. I think F1 is now targeting the younger demographics because they are young kids who have a lot of attention, who have a lot of free time. So I guess, for a reason, they are now targeting the younger demographics, particularly the American ones. It is what it is. We move on. This is the Ferrari poster, and talking of Ferrari, this is Lewis Hamilton's new diamond-studded helmet. Looks amazing. It's a beautiful helmet that it's a special design helmet that he's gonna be wearing in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. But this is not the most interesting thing about the post. It's the comment section. Since John Elkann has made the statement that my drivers, the Ferrari drivers, should shut the fuck up and drive more, everyone is now commenting #Elkann out. in every post. Like, this is not the only post. Like, if you go to any other post, like even with the Charles Leclerc post, you can look at the comments. It just says hashtag Elkan out, hashtag Elkan out, and it's everywhere. Like this one, from the Vegas one, everywhere. It's fun. Obviously, nothing's gonna happen. I'm pretty sure, like, Elkan's job is safe with Ferrari, but this is something interesting and funny because I'm pretty sure everybody in Ferrari must have seen it. The entire world is now standing up to the incompetents. Anyway, we move on to the final story. And also, one more thing I have to say is that plenty of other drivers have also custom designed helmets that I didn't obviously include in the story because, it's just too much. Almost everybody has a custom designed helmet. Both of the McLaren drivers has it, and recently I saw that both of the Mercedes drivers have it too. So everybody is just doing something unique with their helmet because it's Vegas, it's good for the sport, and also it draws a lot of attention, good for the branding, etc., etc. Williams now has a new livery for Vegas. It's a one-off design, and the same thing goes with Visa, Cash App, VCarb. This one actually looks slick. Under the neon lights, I think this is gonna look better, but I guess we will see. Williams one, I don't know. If they perform well, it will look good. Otherwise, if they're DNFing, then obviously it's going to be a dud. So that's all the top stories from the world of Formula One for this week. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.